Hello aspirants, welcome to Insights IAS Current Affairs for your UPSC exam preparation. From digital governance platforms and maternal healthcare initiatives to Gallantry awards, parliamentary elections, border infrastructure, and an important Southeast Asian nation in the news, today's session covers several topics with strong prelims potential. We will be covering the BHAVYA portal, the Gallantry awards, the Pradhan Mantri Surakshit Matritva Abhiyan, the NZP Saathi app, Rajya Sabha elections, the land port management system, and finally, mapping practice on the Philippines. As we move through these topics, focus on the important facts, institutions, constitutional provisions, and governance initiatives that UPSC frequently converts into statement-based questions. So, let us begin with the first topic. Now, we study government schemes. The BHAVYA portal. The context here is that the Union Minister of Commerce and Industry recently launched the BHAVYA portal in New Delhi. And this launch is significant because it marks the formal operationalization of the 33,660 crore rupee cabinet-approved Bharat Audyogik Vikas Yojana, aimed at building 100 world-class investment-ready industrial parks across India. So, what exactly is this portal? The BHAVYA portal is an advanced, end-to-end, single-window digital management platform developed to oversee the complete life cycle of India's new industrial park ecosystem. For prelims, note this carefully, it acts as the primary interface for state project submissions, real-time construction tracking, and remote investor mapping. The nodal ministry here is the Ministry of Commerce and Industry, and the nodal execution body is the National Industrial Corridor Development Corporation, or NICDC. Now, coming to the aim. The framework aims to bridge the infrastructure gap for domestic and global manufacturing companies by providing fully developed plug-and-play industrial plots. By removing the traditional bottlenecks of land acquisition and environmental clearances, it seeks to accelerate business setups and generate large-scale industrial employment. Let us now understand the key features of the BHAVYA framework, and this is where prelims questions are most likely to come from, so go through this carefully. The first and most important design principle is the challenge-based selection model. States do not receive funds automatically. They must use the portal to compete by submitting detailed project reports that showcase their specific land availability, local industrial strengths, and investor interest. UPSC can directly frame a statement-based question from this, so do not let this point slip. Now pause here and hold this point before we move to the next cluster. The parks are segmented into 3 operational scales based on regional terrain. Small-scale pockets of 25 acres are designated for hilly regions, union territories, and the Northeast. Industrial zones ranging between 100 and 500 acres are for mid-sized states. And mega parks spanning up to 1,000 acres are earmarked for urban peripheries closer to major cities. If you remember nothing else from this section, hold on to these 3 tiers. They are clean, testable, and distinct. The funding structure operates on what the source calls a 51-49 financial model. State governments provide the raw physical land, while the central government funds the primary infrastructure through NICDC under this joint partnership arrangement. Coming to the phased rollout, applications submitted between June 1 and July 31, 2026 will compete for the first batch of 20 parks, followed by an additional 30 parks based on dossiers received up to September 30. That gives us 20 parks in the first phase and 30 inches the second. A total of 50 parks in this rollout window, drawing from the broader target of 100. Now let us look at what goes inside these parks. Spaces will be specifically earmarked for deep tech enterprises, startups, research and development laboratories, and global capability centers. To clear regulatory compliance bottlenecks quickly, modern in-house quality testing labs will be built inside the parks in direct partnership with the Bureau of Indian Standards, the Export Inspection Agency, and FSSAI. For prelims, note this carefully. These are 3 distinct regulatory bodies, and UPSC may test which agencies are actually partnered here. Finally, the policy leaves room for global expatriate hubs, dedicated international enclaves, tailored for 4 specific foreign investment partners. These are Japan, Singapore, South Korea, and Switzerland. These hubs will include worker housing and integrated social infrastructure. Do not confuse these 4 countries with any broader grouping. The source is specific, and that specificity is what makes it examinable. So, to quickly recap for your exam, BHAVYA is your single-window digital platform for industrial parks, operationalizing the 33,660 crore Bharat Audyogik Vikas Yojana under the Ministry of Commerce and Industry and executed by NICDC. The parks follow a challenge-based selection model with a 51-49 central state funding split, and dedicated hubs are planned for Japan, Singapore, South Korea, and Switzerland. Now let us move to next topic, Gallantry Awards. The context is that President Draupadi Murmu presented 51 Gallantry Awards during Phase I of the Defence Investiture ceremony at Rashtrapati Bhavan. Among the Kirti Chakra recipients was Indian astronaut designate and Indian Air Force officer Air Commodore Prasant Balakrishnan Nair, call sign Papa, one of the 4 selected Gagannauts for India's first human spaceflight mission, Gaganyaan. So what are Gallantry Awards? These are the highest state decorations instituted by the Government of India to honor personnel of the armed forces, Central Armed Police Forces, and state and union territory police forces. They recognize acts of raw courage, unparalleled bravery, and supreme self-sacrifice rendered in the line of duty. Now, coming to the history and institution of these awards, and this is where many aspirants lose marks, so pay close attention. The awards are divided into 2 distinct trilogies. The wartime trilogy consists of the Paramvir Chakra, Mahavir Chakra, and Vir Chakra. These were instituted on January 26, 1950, with retrospective effect from August 15, 1947. The peacetime trilogy came next, introduced on January 4, 1952, originally named Ashoka Chakra Class 1, Class 2, and Class 3. In January 1967, these were officially renamed the Ashoka Chakra, Kirti Chakra, and Shaurya Chakra, respectively. Do not confuse the institution date of 1952 with the renaming date of 1967. UPSC can and does test this distinction. These decorations are announced twice a year, first on Republic Day and subsequently on Independence Day. Now let us look at the exact statistics from the 2026 Phase 1 ceremony. UPSC can directly frame a statement-based question from these numbers, so hold each one carefully. Out of 51 total medals, 7 were Kirti Chakras, 5 to living personnel and 2 posthumously. 15 Vir Chakras were awarded, 12 to living personnel and 3 posthumously. And 29 Shaurya Chakras were awarded, 28 to living personnel and 1 posthumously. Now here is an area where prelims questions are most likely to come from the physical design features of each medal. Let us go through every one of them carefully. The Paramvir Chakra is a circular bronze medal. On the obverse, it features 4 replicas of Indra's Vajra, the mythical lightning weapon embossed around the national emblem. The reverse carries the words Paramvir Chakra in both Hindi and English, separated by 2 lotus flowers. The Ashoka Chakra is a circular gold-gilt medal, with the obverse featuring a replica of Ashoka's Chakra, the wheel of law centered within a lotus leaf border. The reverse has a blank center with Ashoka Chakra embossed along the top edge in both languages. Before we move ahead, let us lock this in. The Paramvir Chakra uses bronze and the Vajra motif. The Ashoka Chakra uses gold gilt and the wheel of law. These are your 2 anchor design facts for eliminating incorrect statements. Moving forward, the Mahavir Chakra is struck in standard silver, featuring a dominant 5-pointed heraldic star touching the outer rim with a domed, gilded state emblem at its heart. The Kirti Chakra is a circular silver medal featuring a replica of the Ashoka Chakra inside an ornamental rim, suspended by a green silk ribbon split by 3 vertical saffron stripes. The Vir Chakra is a circular silver medal showing a 5-pointed star with a central chakra housing the national emblem. And finally, the Shaurya Chakra is a circular bronze medal, identical in dimensions to the Kirti Chakra, but stylized with a brown silk ribbon divided by 3 vertical lines. For prelims, note this carefully. Both the Kirti Chakra and the Shaurya Chakra are circular medals of identical dimensions. but the Kirti Chakra has a green ribbon with saffron stripes, while the Shaurya Chakra has a brown ribbon. That is your elimination anchor. So, to quickly recap for your exam, memorize the clean distinction between the wartime trilogy instituted in 1950 and the peacetime trilogy introduced in 1952 and renamed in 1967. From the 2026 Phase 1 ceremony, 51 total medals were awarded, 7 Kirti Chakras, 15 Vir Chakras, and 29 Shaurya Chakras. Keep a mental image of the specific motifs, the Vajra for the Param Vir Chakra and the heraldic star for the Mahavir Chakra. Moving on to the Pradhan Mantri Surakshit Matritva Abhiyan or PMSMA. The context here is that the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare commenced nationwide celebrations to mark the 10th anniversary of PMSMA under the theme 10 Years of PMSMA, a Decade of Care. So, what is PMSMA? It is a national flagship health program designed to provide assured, comprehensive, and completely free antenatal care universally to all pregnant women across India. It operates through a unique single-window healthcare delivery mechanism and serves as a critical pillar of the government's continuum of care approach under the Reproductive, Maternal, Newborn, Child and Adolescent Health or RMNCH+A strategy. The scheme was officially launched on June 9, 2016 by Prime Minister Narendra Modi. The program is designed, financed and executed by the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare. Now, coming to the aim. PMSMA seeks to reduce preventable maternal and infant deaths through early identification and management of high-risk pregnancies, ensuring every pregnant woman receives at least one specialist antenatal checkup in the second or third trimester. That specific detail, second or third trimester, is exactly the kind of precision that UPSC may test. Now here is where prelims questions are most likely to come from the key features of the PMSMA ecosystem. The most crucial point is the 9th of the month rule. On the 9th day of every month, all designated government health facilities conduct special PMSMA sessions, ensuring predictable and universal access to antenatal care. Under the single window minimum care package, pregnant women receive a complete set of free services, clinical checkups, counseling, medicines, laboratory tests, and one ultrasound scan, all under a single visit. The scheme also leverages public-private partnership volunteerism, where private gynecologists, obstetricians, and radiologists voluntarily support government facilities to bridge specialist shortages. Now let us understand the color-coded sticker system, which is a classic elimination point in MCQs. A green sticker is placed on the mother and child protection card of women with no identified complications, indicating a normal pregnancy requiring routine monitoring. A red sticker, on the other hand, identifies women with high-risk pregnancies, alerting health workers to ensure closer supervision, timely referrals, and delivery preparedness. Do not confuse these two. UPSC may present a statement that swaps the colors. Green is normal, red is high risk. Imprint this combination. Coming to the digital layer of this scheme, the e-PMSMA features. The system enables name-based line listing, meaning it digitally records and tracks each high-risk pregnancy through online portals and mobile applications, enabling real-time monitoring by healthcare providers. Health facilities can organize up to 4 PMSMA sessions per month, ensuring missed beneficiaries and high-risk cases receive timely care. The monitoring system also maintains a 45-day healthy outcome window, tracking both mother and newborn from pregnancy until 45 days after delivery. Additionally, financially assisted transport support is provided under JSSK, helping women in remote areas access institutional healthcare. For prelims, the 3 numbers to lock in from this section are the 9th of the month, the 4 sessions per month, and the 45-day tracking window. Just before we move on, remember these key points. PMSMA is the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare's flagship antenatal care program, launched on June 9, 2016, operating on the 9th of the month rule. The color-coded sticker system green for normal, Red for high risk and the 45-day post-delivery tracking window under e-PMSMA are your sharpest prelims anchors from this topic. Now, moving environment and tech portals, NZP Saathi app. The context is that the Union Minister of State for Environment, Forest and Climate Change officially launched the NZP Saathi app and inaugurated advanced self-ticketing kiosks at the National Zoological Park in New Delhi. So what is it? The NZP Saathi app is a high-tech, interactive digital zoo guide and navigation mobile application. It transforms traditional paper map zoo visits into a smart, GPS-assisted educational experience, acting as a virtual companion for anyone exploring the wildlife sanctuary. The application was designed, deployed, and managed under the direct authority of the National Zoological Park, New Delhi. Now, coming to the aim. The objective is to drive a comprehensive digital transformation at the National Zoo. By integrating real-time routing technologies and curated audio-visual itineraries, it aims to eliminate visitor confusion, decrease structural crowd bottlenecks, and deepen public awareness regarding wildlife conservation and animal habitats. Let us now look at the key features. The app is cross-platform, fully optimized, and available for download on both Android and iOS. It features a smart navigation matrix, which is a highly detailed, real-time interactive digital map giving step-by-step navigation instructions to help visitors pinpoint animal enclosures, drinking water points, washrooms, battery-operated buggy stops, medical rooms, and emergency exits. Now, the area UPSC can directly test from this topic is the 4 pre-programmed thematic tours. So let us go through these carefully. The Express Tour is a fast-track path covering the most famous flagship species for time-restricted visitors. The Family Tour is a relaxed, child-friendly circuit focused on high-engagement enclosures and rest stops. The Grand Zoo Tour is a macro, comprehensive walking route that covers every single open exhibit across the park. And finally, the personalized My Tour option is an open-ended customizable planner allowing users to cherry-pick specific animals and auto-generate a custom walking route. If you remember nothing else from this section, hold on to these 4 tour names. The app also enables kiosk and cashless symbiosis. Visitors can stand at one of the newly inaugurated physical self-ticketing kiosks, activate the park's free on-the-spot Wi-Fi, and complete ticket bookings via Unified Payments Interface digital scans. In short, this initiative links digital technology directly with ecotourism at a national-level zoological institution. Now let us move to Indian polity and elections. This is a high-weightage area and you must pay strict attention to the constitutional mechanics. The context here is that the Election Commission of India closed the nomination window, setting the stage for Rajya Sabha elections contested across 27 seats. So what is the Rajya Sabha? It is the upper house of India's parliament and a permanent legislative body whose members are elected for a 6-year term. Unlike the Lok Sabha, the Rajya Sabha cannot be dissolved. To maintain administrative continuity, a rolling system is used where 1/3 of the total members automatically retire every 2nd year and their vacancies are filled through biennial elections. Now here is a strong elimination logic point. Members elected through regular biennial cycles serve a full 6-year term, whereas members appointed through by-elections serve only the remaining unexpired term of the individual whose seat became vacant. They do not get a fresh 6-year term. UPSC may present this incorrectly in a statement. Here is why that would be wrong. The term follows the seat, not the new member. Now, coming to the procedure of election, and this is where the density picks up, so let us go section by section. The Rajya Sabha uses an indirect electorate. Members are elected not by the public directly, but by the members of the legislative assemblies of the respective states. For union territories, representatives are elected by a designated electoral college, and currently only Delhi and Puducherry elect members to the Rajya Sabha. The elections utilize the system of proportional representation by means of a single transferable vote. Instead of choosing a single name, MLAs cast their votes by ranking the contesting candidates in order of preference. To secure a seat, a candidate must cross a mathematically calculated minimum threshold of valid first preference votes, a quota determined by a specific formula. Required votes equals the integer part of the quantity, total valid votes, divided by the sum of the number of Rajya Sabha seats plus 1 and then plus 1. Before we move ahead, let us lock this in indirect election, single transferable vote, and a calculated quota. These three elements together define the Rajya Sabha election mechanism, and UPSC regularly tests each one. Now, the open ballot system is absolutely critical for prelims. Voting is conducted via an open ballot, and an MLA is required by election rules to show their marked ballot paper to their respective party's authorized agent before dropping it into the ballot box. Failing to display the ballot to the agent renders the vote invalid. This is your elimination anchor. The vote is not merely secret, it is open and displayed to the party agent. Do not confuse this with the general secrecy of elections in India. Finally, on uncontested elections, actual physical polling takes place only if the number of candidates contesting exceeds the total number of vacant seats. If the number of nominated candidates matches the exact number of seats available, those candidates are declared elected unopposed and polling is skipped entirely. Now let us look at the functions and significance of the Rajya Sabha. The Rajya Sabha plays a critical role in the Indian legislative pipeline by reviewing and passing non-money bills. A bill must be approved by the upper house to become law. When the ruling coalition holds a dominant presence in the Rajya Sabha, the passage of non-money bills becomes smooth. Conversely, if the opposition holds a stronger position, it increases the likelihood of intense debates, amendments, or sending proposed legislation to parliamentary committees for deeper scrutiny. Rajya Sabha elections also serve as a test of assembly arithmetic and alliance management for political coalitions. And because Rajya Sabha seats can be won by narrow margins and results can be altered by cross-voting, regional blocs gain significant bargaining power during tight legislative votes, altering the overall balance of parliamentary strength. So, to quickly recap for your exam, remember the indirect proportional representation system using a single transferable vote, the strict open ballot rule requiring display to the party agent on penalty of invalidity, and the important distinction that by-election members serve only the unexpired term of the vacant seat, not a fresh 6 years. Next topic is the Land Port Management System or LPMS. The context here is that the Union Home Minister of India officially launched the LPMS in New Delhi. So, what is it? The LPMS is a cutting-edge, centralized electronic platform designed to digitize and unify operations across India's international land borders. It functions as an intelligent digital gateway that standardizes cross-border data tracking, bringing land ports on par with the high-efficiency digital systems already operational at major airports and seaports. For prelims, note this carefully. The LPMS has been conceptualized and developed by the Land Ports Authority of India, or LPAI. Coming to the aim, LPMS seeks to create a secure, smart border management system through end-to-end digital exchange of trade and logistics data, enabling faster cargo and passenger movement, lower costs, and supporting the Viksit Bharat 2047 vision. Now here is where prelims questions are most likely to come from the key features of the system. The LPMS uses a single registration request or SRR system where stakeholders submit information only once, reducing repetitive paperwork and ensuring seamless digital document management. The platform enables predictive slot and dwell management, advanced slot booking based on real-time capacity at integrated checkposts, and forecasting of vehicle waiting times to improve logistics planning. Moving further, the system provides automated security and gate operations, digitally recording shipment details, transport manifests, and gate movements, while integrating with full-body truck scanners to strengthen border security and cargo monitoring. Built-in business intelligence analytics dashboards provide real-time insights on cargo movement, container status, transit performance, and operational efficiency. Now, for your options elimination, the LPMS directly connects with ICGate, allowing automatic submission of shipping bills and bills of entry, reducing errors and speeding up customs clearance. Do not confuse ISAGate with any other customs platform. This direct integration is a specific and testable detail. The system also includes dedicated yard and warehouse management modules for optimized resource and warehouse control, helping allocate storage space efficiently. And traders can pay customs duties, parking charges, weighbridge fees, and terminal charges through a single digital payment gateway under the Unified Single Window Payments feature. Simply put, LPMS is the digital bridge bringing seaport-level efficiency right to India's land borders. Just before we move on, remember these key points. LPMS is developed by the Land Ports Authority of India, uses a single registration request for onboarding, integrates directly with ICGate for customs filing, and supports the Viksit Bharat 2047 vision. Now let us come to our final section, World Geography and Mapping. Aspirants, physical geography questions very often stem directly from natural disasters reported in the news. The context here is a massive magnitude 8.1 earthquake that struck off the coast of Mindanao Island in the southern Philippines, leaving at least 17 people dead and over 200 injured. So what is the Philippines? It is a culturally distinct tropical island nation in Southeast Asia, comprising an expansive archipelago of more than 7,000 islands and islets. It is historically and culturally unique as one of only two predominantly Roman Catholic nations in Asia, alongside East Timor and the second most populous Asian country to use English as an official language. For prelims, note this carefully. Both these cultural facts are highly examinable and often missed. The capital, Manila, is located on the largest northern island, Luzon. Now, coming to location and borders. The triangularly shaped archipelago is situated in the Western Pacific Ocean, roughly 800 kilometers off the coast of Vietnam. It is bounded by four distinct bodies of water: the Philippine Sea, the Celebes Sea, the Sulu Sea, and the South China Sea. Geographically, the country is divided into three major island groups: Luzon in the north, the Visayas in the center, and Mindanao in the south. Since the earthquake struck Mindanao, this three-part division is your mapping anchor. Now let us look at the key geological features, and this is where the mapping questions get specific, so hold every name carefully. The Philippines lies on the Pacific Ring of Fire, making it highly prone to earthquakes and volcanic activity. It has about 50 volcanoes, of which more than 10 are active. Do not confuse the total count with the active count. UPSC may flip these in a statement. For mountain ranges, Luzon has the Sierra Madre, which is the longest range, and the Cordillera Central, which together enclose the fertile Cagayan Valley. Mindanao is dominated by the Diwata Mountains, and Mount Apo, standing at 2,954 meters, is the highest peak in the entire country. Moving to the major rivers, the Cagayan River drains northern Luzon, the Agno and Pampanga rivers irrigate the central plain, and the Mindanao River drains the Cotabato Valley. Now, the underground river is an absolute must-remember for your exam. The Puerto Princesa Subterranean River in Palawan is a UNESCO World Heritage Site and flows directly into the sea. UPSC can directly frame a question on this, so imprint this combination. Puerto Princesa, Palawan, UNESCO, flows into the sea. Coming to the major lakes, Laguna de Bay is the largest lake. Taal Lake contains an active volcano within a crater lake that structural detail is itself examinable. And Lake Lanao is the largest freshwater lake, specifically in Mindanao. Note the distinction: Laguna de Bay is the largest lake overall, while Lake Lanao is the largest freshwater lake in Mindanao. Do not confuse these two. Finally, on typhoons, the Philippines is located in the Western Pacific Typhoon Belt and experiences around 25 tropical cyclones annually. The areas most affected are Samar, Leyte, and Luzon. Just before we close, remember these sharp mapping facts. The Philippines is a 7,000-plus island archipelago on the Pacific Ring of Fire, bounded by four seas. Mount Apo at 2,954 meters is the highest peak. The Puerto Princesa Subterranean River in Palawan is the UNESCO World Heritage Site. And Taal Lake contains an active volcano within a crater lake. Before we wrap up today's session, here's a quick GS-wise note-making direction for your revision. The BHAVYA portal and the Pradhan Mantri Surakshit Matritva Abhiyan should be noted under GS2 governance, public service delivery, and government schemes. The Gallantry awards are important miscellaneous topics for prelims, especially their chronology, categories, and distinctions between wartime and peacetime awards. The NZP Saathi app can be revised under GS3 environment, conservation awareness, and digital governance initiatives. Rajya Sabha elections are important under GS2 Polity, particularly the system of proportional representation, single transferable vote, and the open ballot mechanism. The land port management system should be revised under GS3 internal security, border management, and trade facilitation. And the Philippines should be added to your GS1 geography and prelims mapping notes. Now, before you leave, quickly test your recall. Can you remember which day of every month is reserved for PMSMA antenatal care services across the country? What voting system is used for Rajya Sabha elections? And which major tectonically active zone makes the Philippines highly vulnerable to earthquakes and volcanic eruptions? These are exactly the kinds of factual and statement-based areas UPSC frequently converts into prelims questions. For a final revision, make sure you remember the 51 to 49 center state implementation model under BHAVYA, the green sticker and red sticker classification under PMSMA, the distinction between Paramvir Chakra, Ashoka Chakra, Kirti Chakra, and Shaurya Chakra, and the three major island groups of the Philippines, Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao. For the complete current affairs article and today's practice MCQs, visit insightsonindia.com using the link given in the description. Also, subscribe to the Insights IAS YouTube channel and join our official Telegram group for regular UPSC-related updates and learning resources. Thank you for joining us today, and we will see you again in the next session.